So, what is it about bringing people together? What's the explain what you mean by that?
I can't even say really, but I through painting the nudes. I remember I had 1 week where I painted this 17, 18-year old lady, and she was just beautiful as only youth can be. Um, and on the same week, I had a male model in his late 70s, overweight, and he just wouldn't move. He would just sit, and he was naked. And the beauty was they were the same. They became the same. That was like it didn't matter. And there's a, there's something that I see that when we come together and there's like we are all the same. Everybody's unique, but we are all the same. There's and that in the moment people realize that there's a magic can happen. If so, it's not I cannot create a real team or a real tribe with making them all look the same. But what I can do is through your uniqueness, through accepting your uniqueness in the tribe, then you can be a part of the tribe, and then we can and when it happens multiple times, then there's something happens that people just, even if it's for seconds, and sometimes it's enough when it's seconds, but you realize that you are one of everything, one with everything, one with the elements, one with other people, one with and this is what and I experienced that in many different ways, and this is something that I realized that, and I don't know where it comes from. But in the moment I realized that it is, I had it in a vision, and then the moment I practiced it with people, and the moment I realized that it can happen, then since then it's like I'm hooked to that. There's something happening that, and it's not an ecstasy. It's not. Oh, we danced together and we sing the same song. It's just by being you, how you are, uh, with your faults and with your glory, but being you, then you become a part of the team, then you become part of the tribe. And yeah, I, and this is where the for me the magic happens. This is where it's, it's not up to us. I
Mm.
can. This is where, but what I realize is with my art, I can create the space that this can happen, where people are in line. I would say not in line is not a good space, but it's like we come together. I think this is the most
Mm.
the basic idea, and
Yeah.
this is where I'm at now. So the idea is really how. So after doing this project, and I had a big break because of Corona, and I realized that I'm missing that, and I cannot do art. I thought I can do art commercialized, but it's not.
Mm.
It's not in that sense that I can
Mm.
materialize that. It's I
So,
want
what is
people.
driving you now? What's the pull right now?
Um,
You mentioned about what's making your feet cold.
so until now, when I painted a community, I painted separately. So I painted a series of portraits and I united them, and in a installation. And now I'm in the process of creating the concepts, and I'm actually in the process of sending my hooks. How can I paint a lot of people together? So it's a group of 13, 14, 15, and maybe more. So the idea is really, so it's get humongous works and with a lot of details. But the thing is that it has to be very fast because, so there's a lot of technicalities. The challenges will be, yes, keeping the energy, keeping the energy so focused that people can really stay for 6 or 8 hours together. The challenges here would be, yes, to create that. Just the concept that is just came to mind is the Last Supper of Jesus. And I'm gonna paint that with 13 people. So I'm gonna create a dinner and then do the painting. And the idea is really how do people come together? How do we break bread together? Very goes away from the traditions of journalism, but basically the idea is how do I serve? How can my art serve again? And I see the most necessity of us as a society at the moment is there's a threat by digitalization, the threat by the mobile phone, basically. And I think that we need to go back to the basics and how do we look at things? How do we smell together and create this and create a space for that? And I think that my feeling after doing the project about intimacy is that this is it. So how can I create this with my art? I see visions. My vision is actually painting whole cities together. So it's like starting with teams and small groups of people. So between 4 and 20 people together, and then how can I do that with a whole village and a whole city? So is it possible? Can I do that? And I'm basically in my head figuring out how is it possible and time wise, and then so the goal is the vision I am is painting cities, painting huge amounts of people together. Very solid, groundwork, using my experience and using and then adjusting it. But